Today, I'm gonna react to content that was recommended as like top three best YouTube videos of all time. I don't know why this video was considered as top three best YouTube video of all time, but this video was considered as top three best videos of all time. So I'm gonna react to it. The pain of becoming yourself. For some reason, this is like considered as one of the best videos of YouTube. I don't know what this video is even about. I saw it in Instagram Reels, obviously. So I don't know what this video is all about. I'm excited to watch this video. It is what it is. I'm a reaction content creator now, so let's just watch this video, man.
Today, I want to tell you 3 stories from my life. That's it. No big deal. Just 3 stories.
Okay, I love stories. I'm also writing a couple of stories these days, so let's hear it out.
The first story is about connecting the dots.
Okay, but who put the dots there?
I dropped out of Reed College after the first 6 months, but then stayed around as a drop-in for another 18 months or so before I really quit. So why'd I drop out? It started before I was born. My biological mother was a young, unwed graduate student, and she decided to put me up for adoption. She felt very strongly that I should be adopted by college graduates, so everything was all set for me to be adopted at birth by a lawyer and his wife.
Okay.
Except
Normally, I would say something. I would do some commentary with these videos. Like whenever I react, I try to talk some. I try to talk something because I don't want it to be like an exact, their video, but just my face in the middle of it for no fucking reason. I don't like to do it, but this video is trying to say some story, and I just don't want to ruin it. You know.
that when I popped out, they decided at the last minute that they really wanted a girl. So my parents,
Not a big deal. Most parents are like that.
who were on a waiting list, got a call in the middle of the night asking, "We've got an unexpected baby boy. Do you want him?" They said, "Of course." My biological mother found out later that my mother had never graduated from college and that my father had never graduated from high school. She refused to sign the final adoption papers. She only relented a few months later when my parents promised that I would go to college. This was the start in my life. And 17 years later,
Wait, I'm so confused. Did he get adopted or not? I'm like 1 minute in and I'm just confused. Did he get adopted?
papers. She only relented a few months later when my parents promised that I would go to college. This was the start in my life. And 17 years later, I did go to college. But I naively
Okay, at 17 he went to college.
chose
Okay.
a college that was almost as expensive as Stanford. And all of my working class parents' savings were being spent on my college tuition.
Like, is the audio's good? Like, doing reaction content is like hard, man.
After 6 months, I couldn't see the value in it. I had no idea what I wanted to do with my life and no idea how college was going to help me figure it out. And
Pretty much every single human, I guess.
here I was spending all
Okay, not gonna lie. Certain humans have figured their life out to like at least at the age till the age of 25. Some people know what they are gonna do till the age of 25. So I have met people that have plans. Did it work out for them? I don't know about that, but did they have at least have a plan? Yeah, they did have a plan.
the money my parents had saved their entire life. So I decided to drop out and trust that it would all work out okay. It was pretty scary at the time, but looking back, it was one of the best decisions I ever made.
Wait, what was this decision?
So I decided to drop out and
Dropping out was his best decisions, okay?
trust that it would all work out
Which course did he take? Did he mention which course he took?
okay. It was pretty scary at the time, but looking back, it was one of the best decisions I ever made. The minute I dropped out, I could stop taking the required classes that didn't interest me and begin dropping in on the ones that looked far more interesting.
Actual question. Actual curious question. I have an opinion. Why didn't he just like Okay, there are two things. Now that I have worked it out, there are two things. First of all, I think him dropping out, he didn't pay the fees for his school, but still got to learn shit because he was, dropping in. That's how I'm processing it. So he basically got a free education. That's okay. Okay, that's one way to understand it. Second of all, if he dropped out and still wanted to drop in, I feel like him dropping out doesn't make any sense, because if he really wanted to drop in, he could have just, you know he could have still went to those classes and chose not to listen and do something with his life at that moment. Like, why did he drop out? I'm so confused by now.
It wasn't all romantic. I didn't have a dorm room, so I slept on the floor in friends' rooms. I returned Coke bottles for the 5-cent deposits to buy food.
So he dropped out but still wanted to study. At that point, just pay attention on the classes that what you need, and just don't give a fuck on the rest of the classes, right? Like, I think that's not too hard.
With. And I would walk the 7 miles across town every Sunday night to get.
He's in India. He said he's not having any money, but he came to India. Pretty smart move, I think, because $1 is like 100 rupees. I mean, I yeah, $1 is like 100 rupees, man. So if he had like $10, he is like a millionaire in India. Not a millionaire, but like, you get the point. He's basically rich if you have $100.
One good meal a week at the Hare Krishna temple. I loved it. And much of what I stumbled into by following my curiosity and intuition turned out to be priceless later on. Let me give you one example.
Okay.
Reed College at that time offered perhaps the best calligraphy instruction in the country. Throughout the campus, every poster, every label on every drawer was beautifully hand calligraphed.
Okay.
Because I had dropped out and didn't have to take the normal classes, I decided to take a calligraphy class to learn how to do this. I learned about serif and sans serif typefaces, about varying the amount of space between different letter combinations, about what makes great typography great.
Okay.
It was beautiful.
I am a graphic designer and I don't know shit about it. It is what it is.
Historical, artistically subtle in a way that science can't capture. And I found it fascinating. None of this.
I'm so confused right now. I'm like extra confused. What was his college course to begin with? Was it science, or like was it like art? It's definitely art, right? He went to art college.
Beautiful.
Bruh, he went to art college and still dropped out. Isn't like art college supposed to be like the college, or like the like passion college? I can imagine going to like science or like a regular BSc colleges and dropping out, but choosing an art college and still dropping out. Am I following this right?
About what makes great typography great. It was beautiful, historical, artistically subtle in a way that science can't capture. And I found it fascinating.
Okay.
None of this had even a hope of any practical application in my life.
Okay.
But 10 years later, when we were designing the first Macintosh computer, it all came back to me.
So he went to art college, but still no science.
And we designed it all into the Mac. It was the first computer with beautiful typography.
That makes a lot of sense. Okay.
If I had never dropped in on that single course in college, the Mac would have never had multiple typefaces or proportionally spaced fonts. And
so the success of Mac was because of typography, huh? Damn, I never knew it. Such a small thing made a huge difference back in those days, huh? That's good. That's good to know.
Since Windows just copied the Mac, it's likely that no personal computer would have them.
Roasted Windows for no reason. I mean, it is what it is. Roasted window. I'm still using a Windows laptop. It works. I'm still streaming to 0 viewers. Maybe if I used Apple Mac, I could have like around 10 viewers, I think. If I used to stream at Apple Mac, I might have 10 viewers. But since I'm streaming on like Windows PC, Windows laptop, I'm having like 0 viewers. It is fine.
If I had never dropped out, I would have never dropped in on that calligraphy class, and personal computers might not have the wonderful typography that they do. Of course, it was impossible to connect the dots looking forward when I was in college, but it was
Okay.
very, very clear looking backwards 10 years later.
Okay.
Again, you can't connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect them.
The fuck does that mean? You can't connect the dots looking forward, but you can only connect the dots looking backwards. What the fuck is that supposed to mean? So, so like, does he means does he means like turning the page or like turning my head? Like, am I dumb? I hope and pray that I'm not dumb. How the fuck am I gonna connect the dots by looking rewind?
Again, you can't connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect them looking backwards. So you have to.
Bruh, I couldn't even connect the dot, man. Bruh, I think I'm a failure.
To
Can't do
trust
shit.
that the dots will somehow connect in your future. You have to trust in something, your gut, destiny, life, karma, whatever. Because believing that the dots will connect down the road will give you the confidence to follow your heart, even when it leads you off the well worn path. And that.
Okay, okay. Since I'm a person who is going through shit in life, I can say this. What he says is kind of true. Shits that you work might come true in the future. Might it might work out in the future. But this example is completely bullshit that I have to say. Connecting the dots, it's not working for me. I couldn't connect the dots even looking back or looking forward. Second of all, sometimes a lot of times I have been here, so I can say it with all my heart. Just having dream and just working on that dream will not work out you for in real life. Like you can say for the cameras, you can say for like the fame or money or like for the likes, that saying I have a dream and I am working towards it and it will work out in the future. You can say all that shit, and even if it works out in the future, you can confidently say I had a dream when I was 4, so it worked out. But I know, like, I know this, and you guys just have to believe me when I say I know this. I know there are a lot of people who have dreams, who have the same dreams since they are 4 years old, who work on their dreams since they are 4 years old, and just life fucks them up so bad that they don't achieve their dreams. It is harsh reality. Not everyone experience it, but there are humans who experience it. I have been on both sides. Certain dreams of mine, I can, or should I say it? I don't know. Certain dreams of mine might have come true, but certain dreams of mine will not come true. And I know it and I have to live with it. Certain dreams of mine, I'm working on it and I honestly don't know if it will come true. For example, when I was a kid and when I decided that I wanted to be a live streamer or a YouTube content creator, I wanted to play games with other people. Call me selfish, call me alone, call me weird. When I was a kid, that was my dream. And when I was a kid, okay, this is when I'm saying this, when I was a kid, I didn't know how world works. I didn't know how time zone works. Like right now, I understand how time zone works. Right now, I understand how human works. But when I was a kid, I didn't know how humans work. I was like, oh my god, everybody is good. Everybody is good. Everybody is positive. Everybody is happy. And I honestly thought there were no time zones, man. I honestly thought we all shared the same time zones. And guess what? Those dreams don't come true because humans are humans at the end of the day. Not all of them are good, not all of them are bad. And most importantly, not all of them might be alive tomorrow. I'm just gonna say it. I'm just gonna be dark and I'm just gonna say it. Not all of them might be alive tomorrow. You have to enjoy your time with your people because you don't know if they are gonna be with you tomorrow. and I have lost a couple of favorite YouTubers in that shit, like they just, life happens. And another thing is, I am working to be a YouTuber and a streamer. Right now, I don't know if it work out, but I can't waste my time pretending to be a YouTuber or a streamer with zero viewers. I need to go to work so that I can eat food, I need to pay the bills. So this is the perfect example for like some dreams will come true, some dreams will not come true, and some dreams might come true. There is still a chance for it to fail or and pass. Some dreams come true, some dreams will not come true. Just don't be sad, don't be, just move on, just walk forward. It will happen. And life might not be happy always, so just don't be hard on yourself. I mean, everybody can say it all makes sense, it will work out, but sometimes it will not work out. I will be the guy to say it to you. Sometimes shit will not work out. But if when it does not work out, just don't be sad, okay? Move on with a life because you still have a life. Just figure it out and work with what you have, man. It will be happy. Life will get happy. You will definitely be happy, but it's just sometimes it's like playing D&D. It's RNG, man. Sometimes you will roll high, sometimes you roll low. It is what it is.
Will make all the difference. My second story is about love and loss.
That's a great story. I mean, Love and Loss is like a great title, so I hope it to be a great story.
I was lucky. I found what I loved to do early in life. Woz and I started Apple in my parents'
I'm like the exact opposite of that. When I was a kid, I was a kid. I was being a kid. Whatever I saw, I wanted to do it. I wanted to be an astronaut. I wanted to be a chef. I wanted to be in the army. I wanted to be a businessman. I wanted to be an Iron Man. I wanted to be a Batman. When I was a kid, I was just being a kid and living life, man. I did not have like a certain dream that I want to focus on. Even this YouTuber streamer bullshit is like, I just wanted to do it later on in my life. It's like when I was a kid, when I'm saying when I was a kid, it's like when I was 10 years old or like 8 years old, you know. I just wanted it's like it is what it is at that time. I didn't have a goal, certain goal. I never was like, okay, this is what I'm gonna do.
garage when I was 20. We worked hard, and in 10 years, Apple had grown from just the two of us in a garage into a $2 billion company with over 4,000 employees. We just
That's actually pretty good, man. That's a cool. When you're actually working on your dream and when your life is actually working out, it's actually great.
released our finest creation, the Macintosh, a year earlier, and I just turned 30. And then I got fired. How can you get fired from a company you started?
Yeah.
Well, as Apple grew, we hired someone who I thought was very talented to run the company with me. And for the
Oof, oof, the backstab. Oof, betrayal. Here comes the plot twist.
first year or so, things went well. But then our visions of the future began to diverge, and eventually we had a falling out. When we did, our board of directors sided with him. And so at 30, I was out, and very publicly out. What had been the focus of my entire adult life was gone, and it was devastating. I really didn't know what to do for a few months. I felt that I had let the previous generation of entrepreneurs down, that I had dropped the baton as it was being passed to me. I met with David Packard and Bob Noyce and tried to apologize for screwing up so badly.
Oof. Bro, that's actually hard, man. Getting fired at your own company is like, oof.
I was a
That's hard. I can't even have I don't think I have any story to relate to that. I don't want to ruin his moment. I will let him keep this moment because this is a hard moment for him.
very public failure, and I even thought about running away from the valley. But something slowly began to dawn on me. I still loved what I did. The turn of events at Apple
Oof, hard thing about life, not a lot of people love what they do. They just do it because they have to do it. Been there, done that, man. I was in a company for 2 years. I did not like the job, but I had to take the job and do the job in order to earn some money so that I can be a YouTuber and a live streamer right now. It is what it is. I did those 2 years. I did those jobs for 2 years. I did not like it. I did not love it, but I had to do it. And if it YouTube does not works, if live streaming does not works, I have to go there back, man. I just have to go there again. Even if I don't like it, even if I don't love it, I have to do it because I have a responsibility.
Apple had not changed that one bit. I'd been
People can say change what you love, change, just change your opinions. I don't think that's how it works. Once you wanted to do something and if it's not working, life is gonna get hard
rejected, but I was still
to deal with. Life does not get hard, it's just your mentality get hard.
in
And you become like you started to see things differently, man.
love. And so I decided to start over. I didn't see it then, but it turned out that getting fired from Apple was the best thing that could have ever happened to me.
Oof. Pretty much, yeah. Pretty much most people when they like leave their first job or when they just leave their job, they think it's the best thing that could happen to me because they are not working for one company anymore and they get to choose and pick whatever they wanted to do in the future. So pretty much if you get fired from your job, that's like literally the best thing could happen to you. Sometimes it's the opposite way. I know, I understand it. Sometimes it's the polar opposite where if you get fired from your job, you are just fucked. You are just fucked.
The heaviness of being successful was replaced by the lightness of being a beginner again, less sure about everything. It freed me to enter one of the most creative periods of my life. During the next 5 years, I started a company named Next, another company named Pixar, and fell in love with an amazing woman who would become my wife.
Oof.
Pixar went on to create the world's first computer animated feature film, Toy Story, and is now the most successful animation studio in.
Bruh, he created Apple as well as Pixar. Both of them are goated shit, but Android is still better. You know, DreamWorks is still better, but I will give it to Pixar and Apple. I know DreamWorks and Android are better, but I will give it to him. I don't know if Pixar owns DreamWorks. Let me Google that shit. Does Pixar owns DreamWorks? No, Pixar doesn't own DreamWorks. Okay, so Pixar doesn't own DreamWorks. It's just change of opinions, man. I like DreamWorks movies and I like Android accessories. It's just a difference of opinion. He's still rich, he's still successful. I will give it to him. It's just a difference of opinion. Freedom to like whatever you want.
In the world. In a remarkable turn of events, Apple bought Next, and I returned to Apple, and the technology we developed at Next is at the heart of Apple's current renaissance.
That's basically monopoly. That's just basically monopoly. You fired someone and you bought their own company again just because you wanted to work for them. Like you wanted him to work for you again. That's like business monopoly, man.
And
I
Lorene
hope he understands that. It's just business monopoly.
and I have a wonderful family together. I'm pretty sure none of this would have happened if I hadn't been fired from Apple. It was all
You could have still fallen in love with a woman and have kids. I feel like that could have still happened. Him starting Pixar will not have happened. I understand it. But like, you know, other things could have happened. He could have made the best Apple phone to ever exist because right now Apple phones are just shit. They are just reusing the same shit again and again, which is boring at this point. It is what it is.
awful tasting medicine, but I guess the patient needed it. Sometimes life's going to hit you in the head with a brick.
And you die. End of. I'm sorry.
Don't lose faith. I'm convinced that the only thing that kept me going was that I loved what I did. You've got to find what you love.
True.
And that is as true for work as it is for your lovers. Your work is going to fill a large part of your life, and the only way to be truly satisfied is to do what you believe is great work. And the only way to do great work is to love what you do. If you haven't found it yet, keep looking and don't settle.
True. I have nothing to say to that, man. I'm not even gonna deny this.
With all matters of the heart, you'll know when you find it. And like any great relationship, it just gets better and better as the years roll on. So keep looking. Don't settle. My third story is about death.
So this whole video is just Steve Jobs like speech. I could have listened to his speech in any other channel. Why does this channel has like 4 million views, man? Bruh, they are just milking Steve Jobs at this point.
When I was 17, I read a quote that went something like, "If you live each day as if it was your last, someday you'll most certainly be right."
It is true, but it is like, oh my god. Somebody said it out loud and they thought it was bar. Like they just felt like Socrates of present life. Maybe it is Socrates who told this shit. I'm not gonna say anything, man.
It made an impression on me. And since then, for the past 33 years, I've looked in the mirror every morning and asked myself, if today were the last day of my life, would I want to do what I am about to do today?
Honestly, that doesn't apply for everybody because if it is my last day of my life, I'm just chilling, eating whatever I have and I can. I'm just watching YouTube videos. So basically, I'm doing nothing with my life instead of, getting my ass up and working and trying to do something. So basically, that policy might not work with me. Personal opinions again. This is my YouTube channel, so personal opinions.
And whenever the answer has been no for too many days in a row, I know I need to change something.
What? Try to figure out a way so that today might be your last day, bruh.
Remembering that I'll be dead soon is the most
Oof. Why did it turn so dark so suddenly?
important tool I've ever encountered to help me make the big choices in life. Because almost everything, all external expectations, all pride, all fear of embarrassment or failure, these things just fall away in the face of death, leaving only what is truly important. Remembering that you are going to die is the best way I know to avoid the trap of thinking you have something to lose. You are already
I'm so confused, but I have to keep the video rolling because, time exists and I don't want to waste time.
naked. There is no reason not to follow your heart. About a year ago, I was diagnosed with cancer. I had
Wait, did he beat cancer?
a scan at 7:30 in the morning, and it clearly showed a tumor on my pancreas.
Damn.
I didn't even know what a pancreas was.
That's a lie. That's a lie. That's a lie.
The doctors told me this was almost certainly a type of cancer that is incurable, and that I should expect to live no longer than 3 to 6 months. My doctor advised me to go home and get my affairs in order, which is doctor's code for prepare to die. It means to try and tell your kids everything you thought you'd have the next 10 years to tell them in just a few months. It means to make sure everything is buttoned up so that it will be as easy as possible for your family. It means to say your goodbyes. I lived with that diagnosis all day. Later that evening, I had a biopsy where they stuck an endoscope down my throat, through my stomach and into my intestines, put a needle into my pancreas and got a few cells from the tumor. I was sedated, but my wife, who was there, told me that when they viewed the cells under a microscope, the doctors started crying because it turned out to be a very rare form of pancreatic cancer that is curable with surgery. I had the surgery, and thankfully,
I'm not gonna say anything. I almost wanted to say something, but that's bad. I'm not gonna say anything. I just paused because I don't want it to be like, you know, a continuous flow of that video, and I'm just sitting here with no emotions. I'm just gonna let him speak.
I'm fine now. This was the closest I've been to facing death, and I hope it's the closest I get for a few more decades. Having lived through it, I can now say this to you with a bit more certainty than when death was a useful but purely intellectual concept. No one wants to die. Even people who want to go to heaven don't want to die to get there. And yet, death is the destination we all share. No one has ever escaped it. And that is as it should be. because death is very likely the single best invention of life. It's life's change agent. It clears out the old to make way for the new. Right now, the new is you. But someday, not too long from now, you will gradually become the old and be cleared away. Sorry to be so dramatic, but it's quite true. Your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life.
True, true, true. That's what I always say to people. What I always wanted to say to people.
Don't be trapped by dogma, which is living with the results of other people's thinking. Don't let the noise of others' opinions drown out your own inner voice. And most important, have the courage to follow your heart and intuition. They somehow already know what you truly want to become. Everything else is secondary. When I was young, there was
Somebody clapped because the speech he thought or she thought that speech was over, but the speech is not over. Oof.
an amazing publication called the Whole Earth Catalog, which was one of the Bibles of my generation. It was created by a fellow named Stuart Brand, not far from here in Menlo Park, and he brought it to life with his poetic touch. This was in the late 60s, before personal computers and desktop publishing, so it was all made with typewriters, scissors, and Polaroid cameras. It was sort of like Google in paperback form 35 years before Google came along. It was idealistic, overflowing with neat tools and great notions. Stuart and his team put out several issues of the Whole Earth Catalog, and then, when it had run its course, they put out a final issue. It was the mid-1970s, and I was your age. On the back cover of their final issue was a photograph of an early morning country road, the kind you might find yourself hitchhiking on if you were so adventurous. Beneath it were the words, "Stay hungry, stay foolish." It was
I'm staying hungry and I am
their
foolish.
farewell message as they signed off. Stay hungry, stay foolish. And I have always wished that for myself. And now, as you graduate to begin anew, I wish that for you. Stay hungry, stay foolish. Thank you all very much.
Ah, I can see why people wanted, it was like recommended as one of the most best video of all time or like psychological, philosophical video of all time. I can see that shit. It might help. It really helps a lot of people going through shit. Other than that, I have nothing else to say because he experienced his life. He said what happened in his life. I am not gonna deny it. I'm just have counterparts to like sharing what I went through my life. You know, so it always happens when people go through shit. Other people go through other stuff. That it is what it is. That's what how life is. You can't always be the main character for you can't be like that happened to me, that happened to me, that happened to me, that will happen to. You can't be that. You can't do that. Everybody might have different opinions, different life. It is what it is. Don't be sad. Don't be depressed. Don't worry about shit. Things will happen. Shit will happen when it happens. I know I'm saying this as if I'm not depressed, I'm not sad. I am also human. I also get depressed. I also get sad. But all I can say is that don't waste time. Don't waste time. If you have something to do better, try to do it. Like I also waste time. I also be depressed. I also be sad. So I have no single right to say this to you guys because I myself am not implying that on my life in my own life, which is bad. I should imply it in my own life, but like I just if you guys are better than me, if you guys are like have a better life than me, or simply just if you guys are better than me, don't be sad, don't be depressed. Just do what you guys love. Don't hate anybody. Just live your own life, enjoy every single moment, and have a wonderful day. Other than that, I have nothing else to say. Thanks for watching this video. Hope you guys like this video. Hope you guys like this reaction. Hope you guys think that I'm a better YouTuber now because I'm started to doing reaction videos. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys on another video. Bye.